everyone, Jeremy Hansen here, and today I'm going to show you how I root cuttings. In particular, I'm going to do fig cuttings today. I've got some from my Celeste tree over there. Just so you can see, these are some cuttings. These were all cuttings that I rooted last winter or this spring on some of them. Most of them in the springtime, honestly. The winter was a little bit harder to root cuttings for me. And these are some pomegranates that I rooted this springtime. I got them from a silent exchange, and you can see quite a bit of growth on these guys. They have quite a bit of height to them, and a lot of these guys I'm waiting till next spring to put them in the ground. But let me show you what I've got here. So basically what I've started doing is on my fig cuttings, I first like to put them in a little bit of hydrogen peroxide just for a few minutes. And this is just a little makeshift thing I did. Just a gallon jug I cut up and just regular hydrogen peroxide. And I just soak them in there for like 10 minutes. Then after that, I spray them off with water just to clean them off. And then I soak them in this mixture right here, which is a little bit of Super Thrive and a little bit of Clonex rooting gel. And you can see I have a few sitting in here, just a couple. And this one right here, I've already had it in there. And I leave it soaking in this mixture for a couple hours, up to 24 hours. Not too long, but just so it has time to absorb. Both these are both vitamin rich, the Clonex and the Super Thrive. I might go with a different rooting hormone besides the Clonex, but for right now, that's what I've been going with. And you can see, you can choose between parafilm. I just got buddy tape, and you can see this guy's done buddy tape. I like that a lot better. It's a cleaner finish right there. Whereas the parafilm has a little bit more trouble sticking to itself. And so I use tape, and typically it's tighter than that. But in this case, I got buddy tape. And this right here is the cutting I'm going to do. It's already been through the hydrogen peroxide, sprayed off, and soaked a little bit, very shortly, just for the video. And this guy is actually 5 nodes. And I like it when it's cut just a little bit past that last node. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to visualize it in a container here. And I'll probably tape from there on up. So I got my piece of tape here. And let me just do that real quick. Let me see if I can situate the camera here. So I'll go right there. Okay, and so I just get him all nice and covered right there. And so what I'm going to do next step is this last node. I'm going to take this, I use the same knife for grafting. It's just a nice little razor blade there. And so let me line it up here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to point the blade towards me. And I'm just going to scrape along the bark. Just expose some of that green right there. I'm going to flip it and do the same thing to this side. Okay. And so once I do that, I'm going to take my Clonex. Well, first let me show you the dirt. So I like doing these right here. If I'm doing a lot more, I do a flat. I just do a big old tub full of them. And I like labeling with just the tape and marker. But what I've been using lately for dirt is Miracle-Gro Seed Starter. And I like using that because it has some nitrogen in there. And basically what I've learned recently is it seems to me that they do a lot better if they have some type of fertilizer, or I won't say fertilizer, but at least if they have like vitamin rich kind of start. So that's why I soak them like that. You know, I get the sense they like a more fertile start, I should say. And this has a little bit of nitrogen in there, so hopefully once they start to sprout a little bit, they can use that as food. And pretty much what I do is, you can see this soil right here is moist, and on the moisture scale it's reading about 1. There we go. 2. See that there? 2, and to me that's ideal. I like holding it at 2. And so I'll just take that dirt. This is all that Miracle-Gro. I'll just fill my pot with it. And so when I get it like that, so then next what I'll do is I'll just open up my Clonex, if I can here. Okay, there we go. Now, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get a paintbrush so I don't use so much of it. Just did the paintbrush in there and just kind of coat this thing in green hormone. Okay, so definitely where I scraped it, because that's a lot of times when they root quickly, they root where you scrape it from, right there at the bottom. And so then what I'll do is I just take it and I just put it in the dirt right there. And then I'll just label it. Let me label it real quick. Hold on. Okay, so now that I labeled it, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to store it. Some people say in the shade. It's supposed to be a little bit cooler the next couple months, but I'm going to store it inside. I'm going to store it inside a closet inside the house, just because I've learned that if it's too warm, you know, they say like heat, but if it's too warm, you aren't going to get any roots off, from my understanding. I've had some that I've had in I stored them in the shade, and I've had them there for a couple months, and I guess it was just too hot for them to root. Maybe it was something I was doing wrong, but I've discovered that they do a lot better if stored about 75 degrees. And you can see these are all guys that I've rooted just this summer, just in the last couple of weeks. And some of these have quite impressive root systems. But what I'm going to do is just keep this guy in the conditioned space and just let him root out. These guys I just have out right now because it's a little bit cooler out, and it's nice humidity out here, and so I was kind of just letting them get some natural sun rather than grow light, and just hopefully grow a little bit quicker now. And once I know they have roots, like I know all these have roots, especially these guys right here, I went ahead and hit these guys with some fertilizer earlier today, just a little bit of kind of lighter nitrogen fertilizer, not enough to burn them, but just enough to kind of promote vigor and try to help them grow a little bit quicker. But I think that about covers my method there. So I thank you guys for watching. Feel free to ask any questions. Till next time, thank you.